Welcome to the show, Hank.
Hey, Hank.
Also Chuck, apparently.
Apparently,
Apparently,
maybe.
I don't know. I have no confirmation of that. Just what
I
Dennis
haven't
told
seen.
me.
I don't know if he's joined up or not, but he said he was, so I'm going to assume he did.
Right on.
If he doesn't, I'll just have to contact him and be like, dude, what the fuck?
Welcome to the show, Hank and Chuck.
That sounds like one of those really bad comedies. Hank and
Yeah.
Chuck. And our wacky adventures together.
They sit in their living room and tell jokes to each other. Chuck's
So,
been
Travis,
kicked out
are
by
you?
the old lady, and he's got to live with Hank.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yet I know nothing about either of the personalities, so
So
I
you
just assume
never
they're
know.
both clean freaks.
Well, I don't know about Hank, but I know Chuck. He was only like 4 years older than me. We grew up together. He's really into like thrashcore and metal.
Oh.
So
He's really into what?
thrashcore, like DRI and stuff. Right?
It's a type of music, Travis. I mean, I know it doesn't meet your...
DRI is not thrash core. DRI is thrash.
Oh, of course it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't.
When you add core to it, it makes me picture mop tops, like fucking hair combed forward with girl pants.
Oh,
Everything has to be core.
sorry. I was just using modern vernacular. My bad.
Yeah, that's
How
what you
dare
get, commie.
That's what I get. God damn. Oh, ready? So yesterday, my daughter got her driver's license.
It's about goddamn time.
That's what I said. Wow, that was a shocker.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, she went in there. I thought she was gonna actually have a stroke. She was so scared, and of course, it didn't help that the girl just before her failed horribly. She blew stop signs and stuff.
Oh, good.
My daughter's like, I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail. I'm like, want to breathe into a bag or something? Because you got to calm down before.
What did that girl practice on? Grand Theft Auto?
I guess. I mean, she said because her grandfather came because if she got her license, she was taking the car he brought. They'd gotten it. It's kind of specifically for her. It's just like a little old beater. Something if something goes south on it, nothing fancy.
Right.
So she drove that. Yeah, but so she passed. But
That's cool.
yes, but I laughed the entire time sitting there. So
Well, that's good that you guys thought about it and had her take the test on the car she's actually going to drive.
Yeah, she did. She drove it around, she parallel parked with it and stuff. Got the hang of it for the longest period of time before she took the test. And I'm like, hey, you worked with me on it, so I mean, I'd be driving, I'd poke her and just bother her while she drove, so that way she'd understand about being stressed out while driving. It's like psychological warfare. That's what I went with.
You set her pants on fire while she's trying to drive?
Well, no, I would just poke her, push her.
Oh.
That's what it'd be like. She's like, you're like 10. I'm like, yeah. So what's the big deal?
Did you put some thrash core on the radio?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact. And then for Travis, you'd enjoy this. My youngest, she decided to take. I was like, look, she took my Dungeons and Dragons book and read it. She goes, I would like to play this. I'm like, all right, good for you. Very good. I'm starting to get it in already.
Dennis is like, I have like 50 adventures that I never played.
Like, well, that's
I was
awesome.
thinking about that the other day because I had in my continuous search for a career aside from forging, I decided maybe I missed my calling. I don't know if you keep up on my Facebook, but
Yeah, no one does.
yeah, I know. My mom, my mom keeps up on the Facebook.
Male dancer.
I should be like a counselor for troubled youth.
I thought male dancer. What the hell? Why not? I don't know. Go for it, dude. Live the dream, baby. Magic
Travis,
Mike all the way. Go for it.
Travis, I read that about what you wrote, and I just walked away from it because I didn't want to make a snide remark.
I was actually expecting one of you two to be like, "That's the last thing we need is you leading fucking troubled youth."
Yeah.
But
See, in my head, all I see is Travis going. He just can't stand a kid. Fuck it, just kill yourself, man. You're just gonna do the whole society a favor. Just do it.
do everyone a favor. Quit being a burden. Just go ahead. Here you go.
Yeah.
The gun. Do it the right way. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. But I was thinking along those lines. It's like instant gaming group. Because what else do those kids got to do?
You know what would be good for you? Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, I don't think you should base your career around getting a new gaming group together.
You know what? It would not.
No, that would just be an added benefit.
You know what the sad part is? It might actually work. They always have like talk therapy and stuff, gaming therapy. You know, music therapy. They have all these gaming therapy. Everyone gets together in a group, gets to play, gets to work their imagination, kind of work out some stuff they have while they're playing.
Okay, so you set up the game board, right? And you're the DM. So you're creating these monsters for them. So you got like life, responsibilities, girlfriend, because obviously it's not going to work out if you get a girl in the group. And then and then you set up a gallows on the other side of the room, and then you throw life at them. So throw your saving roll. They roll a 1. See you later.
Oh, well, that's life. Sometimes you crap out. It's just how it
life,
happens.
man.
That would be extreme gaming.
Yeah.
Extreme.
That would be some like Vietnam fucking Russian roulette type shit.
Some deer hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, just roleplay deer hunter. Did he
Who's
mount?
gonna beat Nero?
Oh,
Wait, no.
Travis, did you?
That was Pacino, wasn't it?
Since we're going,
It was
since we're
walking, deer
talking
hunter,
about
wasn't it?
gaming and characters and stuff. Did you? This kind of and nerdiness. Did you see Alan Moore wrote a new comic series? It just came out like this week.
Alan Moore.
It's called Providence. It's based all on H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
Where do I know the name Alan Moore though?
He wrote The
Watchmen.
Watchmen. He wrote The Killing Joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
I
came
did not
out
see
like
that.
this week. So you might want to look into that.
I don't have enough.
It's a
shit
comic
to bring
series. It's
money.
once a month. It's
I'm
like,
sure you can get it on your Kindle.
you can carry it on your. What was that? What comics? Like the next isn't that what it is?
Comixology.
Yeah, Comixology. Yeah, I think they have it. Matter of fact, I think that's where I read it from. Because it's from like Avatar Press or something. Also, that came out in the past like month or so is Fight Club 2 by Chuck Palahniuk. He's doing it in like I don't want to say comic, more like a graphic novel because of the way he wanted to write it. He said it wouldn't work in story format. He said being able to visualize it on paper was a lot easier, so he put it in graphic novel format. So it's the narrator as an adult, more grown up, has a kid, still with Marla, and it's like when was Fight Club written? Like 20 years ago.
1993.
93, so yeah, about 20 years ago. So yeah, this is 20 years later, and Tyler Durden starts showing up again. Is that 20? That's what, yeah.
I have no idea when it was actually written.
I think you're right. I think it's 92, 93. I think it's when it came out.
Travis has it. I knew he'd go to the library to find it.
Travis's library of knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge of obscura. It should be more like, because that's
First
just shit.
published in 1996.
Now you say, okay, so about
Okay, so I was
20
closest without going over. I win the Fight Club.
There you go. And all
Now
these
it's time to
fabulous
spin the
prizes.
wheel.
And the fabulous prizes in the back there. We'll get you on the wheel in a little bit, Travis. Or Craig, you can spin it and see if you can get $1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that just came out, and I guess that's like it's only like a 12-issue run. Same thing with Alan Moore's. I think it's only like a 12-issue run.
Yeah, I saw Fight Club too. I'm slightly interested in it, but at the same time, I think the book left off at a perfect spot. So I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could get into a sequel, considering I liked Fight Club so much.
Well, I mean, it's not like, I mean, it is written by Chuck Palahniuk. So I mean, he's kind of going back into his first book, as now that he's older and looking at how he would be living.
Yeah, but Dennis, you got to remember there are a lot of people out there who wrote sequels to their own stuff, and it fucking sucked.
That is true. I mean,
look at Call of Cthulhu 2. There's no Call of Cthulhu 2, is there?
No.
That's why I was like,
I like the seriousness in his face. No.
what are you getting at?
Look at Lord of the Rings Part 2. God damn it.
No Lord of the Rings.
Speaking of, Travis, you should look up. There's something called Kid Cthulhu. It's quite funny.
I've seen it.
It is really adorable. I'm not gonna lie. It's quite funny. That's why Alan Moore started Providence, by the way. This comic series. He goes, "I'm tired of all this shit Cthulhu stuff." He goes, "It should be proper." So I guess they're calling it after this first comic. They're already saying it's going to be like the new Watchmen of horror comics.
Yeah. As much as I like Alan Moore, he's very, very fucking full of himself.
Well, I mean,
he is a wizard, so.
yeah. Well, he definitely looks like a wizard.
They had what was it, like the
Grand
BBC
Wizard, though, right?
interviewed
He's not a
him?
Grand Wizard. He's no Grand Wizard, right? Not a Grand
No,
Wizard.
God no.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I guess he did an interview with the BBC, and it said like comic writer, storyteller, wizard under his name.
Hey, he does look like Gandalf a bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, he's written some stuff that isn't good though. So I mean, I'm not saying anything about the new stuff. I'm just saying, after Watchmen and Killing Joke and that kind of stuff, it's just like some of his stuff's like subpar.
yeah,
You
it
gotta
sometimes
figure
it's hard to get over some of those. Like, I mean, when you get to the like Watchmen and Killing Joke, those were really good series. It's hard to when you get like it kind of got to suck at being like an author or an actor or something when you top out early in your game and then you get it's like fuck all these years to go. I don't know.
Yeah, because you look at pretty much. I'm not a big DC fan, but I know a lot of people who are. Killing Joke is the quintessential Batman book.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
it is the Batman book.
It's one of those ones that really stands out. I mean, I also like Hush, and then The Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller one.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it's. I've never seen the Hush, but I've seen of the ones that I've seen and the people I've talked to that are big Batman fans. Killing Joke, Dark Knight Returns, and like my buddy Alex in Creeley really likes the
Kingdom Come.
No, it was a series. It was like a 2 or 3 book series that they did where Batman gets turns into a vampire.
Oh, okay,
basically.
yeah. I'm not familiar with that one.
Those are more like the non-mainstream storylines, but
Yeah.
The Dark Knight and Killing Joke, those are 2 books that are universally recognized
Oh yeah.
for everybody, even non-DC fans like me. I would buy The Killing Joke.
Right.
I never did, just because I don't. Fuck, I haven't read half the comics I have sitting on my shelf. But those are the books that are recognized across all of comic fandom as the 2 quintessential. If you want to read some Batman, but you don't want to get into the fucking deep dark corners of it, read those 2.
Well, that's like
the end.
that's like like if you want something for the whole DC universe, where it's you don't have to dig into it, you just get the basics of the stories because you're not familiar with all the characters. Fucking Kingdom Come is probably the best comic I've ever read.
Yeah.
It's a 4-issue setup. It was done by Alex Ross, and it's the one that takes place something happens with Superman. There's allusions to the past and what happened, but he just gave up being a superhero when the villains started taking over. It really good series. But Batman's in his 80s and he's got a cyber suit. Who else is in it? Wonder Woman's all old. Superman, the only way you can tell he got old is he's got a small stripe of gray hair, since he's pretty much immortal.
Right.
Really good book. Every panel was hand painted by Alex Ross.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on what they're doing with Batman right now? Commissioner Gordon is now Batman, and he's got a fucking mech suit.
I haven't been reading comics for a while. I don't know. Batman is... I like Batman. I don't follow it because of this kind of stuff. Because there was a couple years there where Damian Wayne was supposed to be Batman, and then he ended up getting killed, and then blah, 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 and then who knows, when Dick Grayson was Batman for a while, and then Batman showed back up right after the whole Black Ring series, or the Blackest Night series.
So who do you actually follow? I know you're a big DC fan, but I've never actually asked. Who do you follow mostly on DC?
For
then?
comics, the ones that I'm not up to date on anything right now,
Mhm.
but if I'm gonna read, if I pick a comic that I'm gonna read, like one that I'm actually gonna follow, it'll either be Green Lantern, The Flash, or Green Arrow.
Hmm.
And not because of the TV shows. I've been following Green Arrow and The Flash for many years.
Uh-huh.
I loved the Flash in the '90s.
Yeah.
Like that was a weekly thing for me. That it was a horrible TV show,
Right.
but I loved the show.
The new one.
I watched it every single week.
The new one. I'll tell you what. The new one's killing it.
That's what I heard. I heard it's
watched-
fucking
I
phenomenal.
watched the first half, and then like I don't get that channel here. Or it's not on the on demand.
Oh, okay.
That's how I was watching it. I would skip a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Then I'd watch 2 or 3 episodes at a time.
The
I don't have that channel on the on demand here,
Oh, okay.
so I just don't watch it now.
Well, there's like a CW app you can go to, or even their website that has a lot of it. I think they only go back like 5 episodes, though, 5 or 6 episodes. But they brought back, I guess, one of the scientists from the original Flash TV show from the '90s.
Mhm.
She came back and is like the head scientist for a different company from the old Flash TV show. And then they brought back Mark Hamill as the trickster, which was really good. Really good.
I heard
So
some-
they're tying in the expanded universe of the Flash.
Yeah. Like,
Well, I've heard that they because of the new movie that was it Suicide Squad, they fucked up Harlequin for them because they were going to add Harlequin in.
oh, were they?
And then because of how they changed it, like, well, now you fucked us. We can't get it like in the Arrow or anything like that.
Suicide Squad, I'll end up seeing it eventually. I haven't been
Right.
going to the movie theaters for movies lately, but I will end up seeing it. And there's a lot of hate over what they're doing with it, with the whole Jared Leto thing. And
Well, I just don't see Joker covered in tattoos. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just not how I see Joker.
I just
That's-
don't care.
That's not the Joker though. That's not his final look. That was a promo thing that they put out.
But
And
you saw
everybody-
that they put out. There's images of Harley tattooing him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
That's
shit
from the
leaking
movie.
out that like everybody's like, oh yeah, no, he's got tattoos in the movie. Though
Yeah,
I did see the. Did you see the cast picture for it?
Fucking Will Smith is in it.
One of them, an early one. So I didn't think of.
The cast picture is great because I mean, besides Harley Quinn, I don't really like what they did with her, but that's fine, whatever. You know, they're not going to do the same the classic Harley Quinn or the Arkham Knight or Gotham City, all the or the Arkham City style ones, I guess you should say.
Right.
They're not going to do what they did with her there. So what they did is fine. I don't care, whatever. Fucking Will Smith is Deadshot.
He looked
Looks
pretty
great. I mean, after I saw that, I'm like, okay, they're going to handle this well because everybody's focusing on the Joker. The Joker's not really the main focus of Suicide Squad. I think he's basically in there, and they're shooting like what do you call it? Flashback scenes.
good. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like flashbacks, like Harley gets picked up or something like that,
Right.
and then
Gotcha.
and it's just like her flashing back, telling her story. Because I think they might be saving Jared Leto for that Superman Batman movie, and the reason I'm saying that is because if you look at him, and then you look at Dark Knight Returns, and the Dark Knight Returns storyline is basically what they're doing for at least the first 2/3 of the Batman versus Superman movie.
Mhm.
It seems like they're going to have him in the straitjacket, completely crazy, and Jared Leto looks like that Joker. Maybe without the tattoos, but you know,
Right.
that Joker from that series is what he looks like. But I want to see what they're going to do to unite Batman and Superman because they're basically going to be fighting for 2/3 of the fucking movie. They're going
That'll
to do
be
something to
interesting.
unite them. And I'm hoping, and I guess there's 2 ways they can really do it to draw all those major superheroes together. Like basically, you know, since they all pretty much have god powers, they're going to
Yeah.
need something big. So it's either going to be Darkseid, like it's been in the comics to draw the Justice League together, or it's going to
Right.
be Doomsday. And I hope to fucking God it's Doomsday.
Well, I was gonna say because they've already shown cast pictures for Justice League. I've seen pictures.
Well,
I just saw
they've
pictures
shown-
yesterday of it.
They've
Well,
shown
the people that are going
Ben
to plan on putting.
Affleck
I don't know. I don't know if they're just cast shots.
Yeah.
But they had them all lined up. I mean, you know, Jason Momoa is Aquaman. They had a picture of him. It was a Henry Cavill. Is that it? Who's Superman?
Yeah,
He was in
but
a-
he's pretty common. And then Ben Affleck's Batman. I don't
Yeah,
remember
and-
what her name is, who's playing Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Yeah, and I saw the Flash and a couple others. I just can't remember them all now. There's a
that's
couple.
one of the things that bugs me about that is they're doing the Flash TV show, yet they're not using the same character.
Yeah,
They're using a
but
different
it's
Flash for the movie.
it's not the same universe. It's not technically the same universe like the way Daredevil was the same universe as Avengers. It's not going to be technically the same universe because CBS, I guess CW didn't really jump on that pilot for Supergirl. CBS jumped on it, realizing the superhero movies are making the money,
Yeah.
and the shows are. So they jumped on that. Now Supergirl's not going to be in that same universe as the Flash and Green Arrow. They're not going to discuss her because it's a different company's property. Where CW is owned by Warner Brothers, so they may do something with that. I don't know, but
Well, no, the guy who plays the Flash will not be the Flash in the movie,
right. No, I get that. I get that.
but it's going to be the same storyline. Like he's gonna have the same basic characters. It's gonna be a different guy playing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is it because he's older in the movies, or
That's possible. That's possible.
because this is a young Flash? This is Flash starting out on the TV show.
Right, right. Yeah, that's possible. But I mean, they did show Future Flash from like 25 years in the future on the last episode, and then they had Jay Garrick's helmet come flying through the wormhole, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
It was like one of those things. If you blink, you missed it. But that helmet falls out, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Justice Society.
I've been seeing like right when the season ended, like how great the whole thing was, and I've never watched it because I'm usually watching something else because I have my time all over the place on other things. So
I guess a lot of the comparisons I've seen by like the hardcore like DC nerds, like on Reddit and shit like that, they were talking about how I guess season 3 of Arrow kind of sucked. It was real forced and real bad. Season 2 was what they consider the best season, and I guess season 1 of The Flash blew it completely out of the water. Just the way it was. You didn't have the forced romance storylines. I mean, there was a couple spots in there where it was like, but then it was just like the way they handled it was great. They had fucking Grodd's in it. Like, I didn't think they were going to go with Grodd in the first season, the gorilla. But they brought him in, and he's in a full episode.
Well, like I said, I might have to sit down and watch it when I get a chance.
Yeah, as soon as there's an open option to watch the whole season, it's worth it. 23
it'll
episodes.
show up on like Hulu or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of them will pick it up. Hulu or Netflix will pick it up. I know they
Hulu
will.
has like five episodes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I don't like the fact that they're not tying them all in.
Yeah. I mean, like, you got Arrow and Flash are connected because it's the same universe.
And I will say, I watched the tie-in, the mid-season tie-in.
Yeah.
For both of those. Wasn't too hot on it. Like,
No?
I was watching the Arrow ones, and I don't recall, and like again, I'm not a DC fan. I don't recall the Arrow becoming Ra's al Ghul ever.
Yeah.
And yet,
that's their whole storyline over on that. I didn't watch Arrow, so I watched the first half of the first season. So I'm nowhere near that. I was still at the part with what's his name, Deathstroke. So I don't know enough about what's been happening lately.
Like I get like Ra's al Ghul. What little I know, it's a name, it's a title. It doesn't. Well, it's a title, not a name. But at the same time, it's like, all right, so, but the Arrow's a good guy, and he's on the same team as Batman. So how can Ra's al Ghul, who wanted to destroy Batman, now have that title pass on to somebody who's on the same team as Batman?
Well, what you're doing right there is what's causing you the biggest problem is you got to take Batman and Superman and those bigger characters just completely out of the story, because they're technically DC universe, but the TV shows and the movies, two completely different universes.
Yeah, but wouldn't they still play on the fact that the Arrow is on fucking Justice League? Or are they leaving that fact out too?
They're probably going to leave that out because in normal Justice League, the Green Arrow's not any part of it. Most of the time.
Green Arrow was on the Justice League though.
No, not a lot.
Just in the cartoons?
The cartoons will have them occasionally, but main Justice League is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and lately there's been a lot more Hawkgirl than anything else.
Wasn't Martian Manhunter a Lantern too?
No.
No.
No, he was Jean Jeans, who was the last Martian who was teleported to Earth through a mistake with some experiment. Kind of like, what's that duck? Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
That kind of thing. It happened, but he was like in the 50s. So, but he's a shapeshifter. But yeah, no, he's not a Green Lantern.
I hope they do a Howard the Duck movie again. I would love that. I'd fucking die laughing.
I think they killed it the first time. I think they did such a good job it should never be touched again.
Exactly. Howard and the movie may have nothing to do. I get a lot of people, oh, the movie had nothing to do with comic books. It didn't. It wasn't. It didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Like they threw out the comic book. They took the character. They made a whole brand new story for him, brand new origin story on Earth for him, and there you go. And it's probably the best movie of my childhood.
No, not mine. No way, dude.
I worshipped that
Big-
movie.
Big Trouble in Little China. Always my favorite one from growing up.
I liked Big Trouble in Little China, but
Rumor is
Howard the
making a
Duck
sequel.
was-
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Let's cash in on the fucking 90s and 80s nostalgia.
Well, I know they're redoing what? They're making a Big Lebowski 2.
Oh, good. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their...
Oh,
Why, I don't know. You should have just left it alone. The Big Lebowski was fine the way it was. I don't know why you have to make a
Another
sequel.
story that ended fine.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It ended. It was done.
That's-
There's no more
I
to
think
the
that's
story.
where we all are in agreement. Some of these movies ended perfectly the way they were. Don't need to do anything else with them. Don't keep going. Why?
That's like Fargo. Okay, the series that they did was great because it had nothing to do with the original series or the original movie, and
Right.
that was perfect. And apparently they're
Right.
making a season 2, which is going to have nothing to do with the first season. It's all
See,
just basically loosely based around the north or the mid east or midwest, northern
Yeah,
Midwest.
That's all it's about. That's that works.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
And then
That works.
basically there's a group of people in Fargo, North Dakota that run a bunch of hitmen. That's the only connection it has to the same thing as the first movie. You know?
And that's I like it when people do that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that because that's kind of like the True Detective thing,
Right.
where True Detective is going to be a serial, but it's going to be a standalone. Every season stands by itself.
Yep.
And
I like what was,
I reading
American Horror Story did that too.
American Horror Story. The weird thing, I don't like American Horror Story. I haven't really watched a whole lot of it. Gabrielle's bothering me, telling me I have to watch it.
You would
Especially
probably
starting with
like
season
a couple,
3.
like the first and second season. I don't know about any of the other ones. First and
See,
second
I
season were
started with
fantastic.
The first season was just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't get it. But the weird thing about American Horror Story is each season stands alone. It's its own separate story. Yet they use the same actors. Like it's a very weird.
Yeah.
Like the same actors will be different characters in each season. It's like, so it's confusing in that matter, but it's really cool because that's not something that anybody's done.
Right.
I just have to actually accept it and sit down and start watching it.
I think you would like it. I mean, since you're such a horror guy, it's not like it's not jump scares. So you don't have to worry about the scary, but it's a good psychological, nice run, and the plot runs along. I mean, you might figure out the endings really because I know you're probably like, oh, I know what's going on, but give them a shot. I don't even like horror stuff, and I watched those. I think they were great. So.
Well, you don't like horror stuff because you're lame.
Yeah. I'm more of a sci-fi guy, so that's the way it is.
I don't like horror that much anymore because I grew up.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's part of. Like I struggle with it because I hate new horror. I don't like 99% of what comes out in books. I don't like 99% of what comes out in movies because it's no longer horror, it's jump scares. It's scary movies.
Let's see how
that aren't
let's see
actually
how
scary.
real we can make this disembowelment.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
it's not like they're scary movies, but they're not actually scary because they use tone, fast movement, and loud noises in order to scare you.
Yeah.
They have music. They have ominous music that sets most people on edge, because it gives them anxiety. The science behind the tone of horror movies is interesting to me, at least. and then they have something move real quick across the screen, and then it's a really loud noise, and it makes you jump.
Right.
Because it's two things. It's really loud. It's really fast at the same time. So it's an assault on your senses. It's not scary. It's just an assault on your. It's overstimulating you. So I hate new horror. That's why all of the horror movies that I kept, like.
And there he goes.
These two are on my list of my favorite fucking horror movies of all time. It's Dr. Gore by
Bill Bixby.
No, Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Oh, that guy.
Dr. Gore, the same guy who did Wizard of Gore, and then the Suicide Girls remade it into a really horrible fucking movie. And Fulci's Zombie.
See, now that's a good movie. I like that one.
Just say Fulci's Zombie was fantastic, and I mean, I'm not. That's like quintessential for anybody who wants to watch a horror film. It's got to watch Zombie.
This is the absolute like tippy top of my collection. This is the old fucking back in the day they would release the clamshells in fucking cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
Was that a VHS there you got there? Betamax?
VHS.
Betamax. It's better quality.
You were supposed to return that fucking 15 years ago.
Yeah, 5-day rental. I don't want to see the price on that. You're going to hundreds of dollars, man.
Did you rewind the tape?
Please rewind tape. And yes.
No, that's scary. Let me
But this is like the highlight of my collection. And then like my DVDs, I have a ton of Fulci movies. I have a ton of Argento movies because those are horror movies. Those are true horror movies. Yes, they're the Italian. They're Italian horror movies, but those are examples of the horror that I like. I like the atmosphere. I don't want jump scares. I don't need gore necessarily.
See, now, what really got me out of horror for nowadays was about the time I started watching some of those when they got kind of passed around a lot more around here, like on DVD and shit. It seemed like all the horror movies around started trying to imitate them with just a fucking gore, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, those were gory movies, but at the same time, it was more psychological than anything else. Now, what I consider a good horror movie is like The House on Haunted Hill or The Abominable Dr. Phibes or something like that. Those are what I consider good horror movies.
Those are great horror. I have those fucking like 50
even
great
Hammer films, dude. All the like some of the old Hammer films, I always loved too. They weren't scary, but they were just intense. Hammer films were always great.
They told a story. That's what made old horror like the from the first moving picture up into the mid 80s when things just got really campy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some campy shit. But when things just started being campy...
Like Zombievers.
Like Zombievers. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Seriously?
Not kidding.
No, I know it's on Netflix. Are you fucking kidding me? How does that movie get made? Like, that's...
It's 100% camp.
Zombies are hot, dude. You got to strike while the iron's hot, man. You got to fucking do that.
I think they did it as just like, okay, we're fucking with people. That's it. We're making zombie beavers. We're just going to do it. Fuck it. The hell with it. Just go with it.
It's beyond... It's when things get that absurd. I don't mind absurdity when I'm reading a book. Like, if Zombievers were a book, like a Bizarro book, which it very well could be, I'd read that book because that's just absurd and that's retarded and that's something to fucking spend an afternoon reading.
Also on Netflix right now they have Poultrygeist. You saw that, right?
Oh, good God!
I own that.
Poultrygeist. It's trauma films. Now there's another group of films I loved as a kid.
Poultrygeist.
But it's trauma. Like that's
you know what you're getting.
Different.
When you see trauma, you're like, oh, well, I already know what I'm getting into.
Well, see, Trauma doesn't go for ultra gore. I mean, one of the last movies from Trauma I watched, someone got their head crushed. And it was obviously a cantaloupe with a nose glued to it.
but you still watched it. It's just
Oh yeah.
And that's
enjoyed
exactly
it anyway.
when it has that trauma team on the beginning of it, you know exactly what you bought.
Yeah.
I had two trauma for a long time. It still kind of does here and there, but trauma for a long time would buy old, like softcore films, rename them, and then release them as somewhat horror films.
Yeah.
Which
Or they'd shoot them themselves.
I think one of them was like the cat women of something that I had. And
Teenage cat girls in heat.
Yes, I had that on VHS.
I know that.
I had one where they were like Top Gun pilots.
I didn't see that one.
But it was basically just softcore porn.
There was one called Rockabilly Vampire, which was pretty bad.
Well, I mean, come on, it's trauma. You're gonna watch it because it's trauma. That's why you watch it.
And with trauma, it's different because trauma, you know what you're getting into. I'm actually I'm trying to get Lloyd Kaufman to come on the show.
That'd be awesome. I'd laugh my ass off with him because I know how he's such a weird dude.
He was cool as fuck when we met him down in Florida. Me and Jim McKern and a couple other guys and Aaron Chaps went down to Florida, and it was for MegaCon. We went to a thing that he was hosting. It was a bunch of bands playing. It was like a charity for old comic book writers that weren't getting the like we weren't able to retain the rights to their stuff. So basically, it was put on by all these different people, and it was a big charity event. And he was just like walking around the whole time, man. And he had like 3 women on him the whole time. It was great. He was just like having he was just like walking around, introducing himself to everybody in the bar. And it was great because it was the same weekend as the Daytona 500 was running, and the bar that they went to was a metal bar. It was always metal bands playing there, and it was called Duke's. So all these fucking hill rocks came in there, assuming it was a country western bar. There was like the bouncers knew what was going on, so they brought in their buddies, and it was all like Marines and like ex-Special Forces guys bouncing there. And these dudes just came in and tried to start shit with anybody in the bar because they're like, "Brah, it's Daytona weekend, That was a good time. This band called the Killer Robots played. They were basically like Gwar, but more of a techno feel. And they
Techno Gwar, nice.
And then basically they had dudes dressed as monsters running throughout the crowd and stuff like that. And they just started throwing out those big foam noodles, saying, "Beat the fuck out of them with these like whatever weapons they called them."
Like Lloyd Kaufman is one of the on the short list of people that I really want to talk to.
Yeah.
Because, and all 3 of us are trauma like aficionados. We know trauma.
We've seen at least the classics.
Yeah. Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD.
Right now,
yeah. Surf Nazis Must Die.
Fucking Class of Nukem High.
Toxic Avengers 1 through 4.
Juliet.
Some of the other ones.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
Terra Firma.
Terra Firma. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites because it has Lemmy in it.
Yeah.
Like through the whole movie instead of just like in the beginning and the end.
Is Ron Jeremy playing the dad of the hermaphrodite?
But trauma is one of those things where I don't even consider trauma as being horror.
No.
Trauma is its own genre.
Trauma is to horror like The Onion is to news.
Yeah.
So it's more legitimate than most of the horror nowadays.
It satirizes horror, but at the same time, I absolutely agree, Craig. It's a legitimate horror genre because they actually take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yes, it's supposed to be satirical. Yes, it's supposed to be absurd and over the top, but they take their movie making seriously.
Yeah.
Like they're good movies, even if they're really bad movies. They're good.
Right. I mean, they get like a different idea set out there, because a lot of the movies, like look at Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah.
That never would have gotten made anywhere else.
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
But they do that, and then all of a sudden South Park blows up.
Yep.
Yeah. True.
And to be able to talk to, they've got a Kickstarter right now because they're making Return to Class. They're making Return to Nukem High Volume 2, I think. They've got a Kickstarter for it. And to be able to talk to Lloyd Kaufman about new and old for an hour would be amazing. I don't have enough money to buy that perk, which is only a half hour Skype conversation, but to be able to talk to him he's on my short list of people that I would kill for to get on the show.
Right.
And Troma's different. Troma's, like I said, it's its own genre, and really campy movies are fun, but when it just goes over the top, like the Zombievers, and there was another one that came
Zombie
out
Lake. Oh wait, that's an old one.
Mm.
And it was fucking terrible.
What was that?
Zombie Lake, the one with the SS zombies.
Is that the one that fought the sharks?
You mean Shockwaves?
No. This one was like 70s. It was a French film.
That's Shockwaves.
Oh, the way I've seen it was called Zombie Lake.
No, it's Shockwaves. I have the original.
Okay.
Never mind, he's got it.
This reminds me of talking to another person that I'm not going to bring up the name of.
Yeah, well, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's still around. He tries to contact me every once in a while.
I have not had to deal with that in years now.
I ignore it completely,
Oh, yeah.
buddy. Ignore it completely. I'm like, who? What? I don't know you.
And if you're listening right now and you know who you are, eat a dick.
I doubt he would even realize it. He's off in his own fucking world.
That guy, but sometimes I can't help it, as you all know.
Well, see, you're not that guy because of this reason.
You're on the show.
You're being compared to one of the better traits of this guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, his knowledge of movies was astounding.
Yeah.
Like obscure movies, like we'd talk martial art films, and this guy, he would bring up like the characters' names, the actors' names, the movies they were in, the directors of the films. I mean, he was really into films. I'll give him that. He knew his movies.
Yeah.
But outside of that, not
and he
much.
knew his classic rock. He was good with music too.
Yeah, that's true.
Other
That's
than
right.
that, his taste in music wasn't great, but
No.
he knew his music. But yeah, other than that,
Not much.
at least by the end, I don't know. I mean, years ago when I first met him and we became friends, yeah, it was a little different, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how he is now. I don't see him. I don't talk to him. I don't plan to talk to him. If I happen to see him, I'm going to try to go the other direction.
Right.
Do my oh, shit. Maybe you won't notice the mustache. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Someone give me a pair of glasses, man.
He'd probably be too strung out to know it was you anyway.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I really am.
Well, see, that's all you gotta tell me is they'd be fucking strung out, and I already know. Like, I've had plenty of those friends where it's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I saw this guy, he was working in a video store. I walked into the video store and stood on the at the corner, like you remember the video store, Craig?
Oh yeah.
We in where all the horror movies were. I stood right there at the corner, right next to the counter. He didn't notice me for 30 minutes. I just watched him.
Yeah.
I just stood and watched him. I'm like, you're pathetic, and I walked out. That was like the last time I'm not putting up with it.
Yeah.
I came here because you asked me for a favor, and I thought, and we're friends, but the hell with you.
Yep.
And you said shit about me, and now that I know about it, if I ever see you, I'm gonna break your ribs. So don't talk shit. That's just not cool.
Yep.
We're adults. If you got something to say it to my face. We can either discuss it or we can, we can be men about it and go out back. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. So there. And anyways,
just the sad part was it's like me and you were two of the people who saw that coming early, and everybody else was still listening to him. And then after he stole enough of their stuff, it was time to say goodbye to him. Then
I never gave him any of my shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a gift for you. No, dude, I don't need it. That's cool because I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
I couldn't find Shockwaves, but this movie is an absolute classic. Street trash. If you haven't seen Street Trash, you need to see Street Trash. It is.
Is it Chud? If it's not Chud, then what the fuck do I care?
It's better than Chud.
How could it be better than Chud? How dare you?
It's better than Chud. In fact, Craig, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Pull up YouTube and look up Street Trash, the trailer.
The trailer. That's the whole movie. Street Trash, the trailer.
This movie was also incredibly awesome.
I remember Dr. Giggles.
Dr. Giggles.
I remember him. I remember that one.
I couldn't find Shockwaves, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Originally, it was Shockwaves. I didn't know they named it Zombie Lake.
Yeah, that was the American release, I guess.
Oh, I think it was from a foreign film then. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a French zombie movie that was just bad.
But it was dubbed in English in the 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know why they'd re-release it as Zombie Lake.
Why not?
Because Shockwaves is it's a great movie.
Let's see what we got here.
Let me see here. Takes me a second. I didn't realize I had to set this up.
It is what it is. All right, let's see here.
God damn it. It's not playing through the speakers because I didn't change something. Hold a second. Keep talking.
Imagine trauma.
Okay.
Oh. There we go.
I don't need this.
Are you tired of the same old routine?
My wife, my
Busting your hump and getting nowhere?
This just ain't my day.
The boss, is he always on your back?
Nice, the ass belongs in your chair, not in your lap, which is where you keep trying to put it. You bastard!
The wife, and the kids.
Is that right?
They never listen.
I hate to see him pissing his life away in them goddamn computers.
Do you ever feel like forgetting the whole thing?
Think I got it easy?
Well, now you can.
I'm talking about life!
Drop out and join the ranks of the few. The filthy. The trash.
I got my own place, a condominium.
Where else can you live for free? And eat for even less? Well, be forewarned. Freedom has its price. Yes, there's always a snake in the Garden of Eden.
What you got for me today?
Today, Tenafly Viper. $1.
Here's to you, pussy. Don't drink my Viper. Watch.
What's the matter? You can't hold your liquor, huh?
Street trash. It's easy to find us. We're all over the place. Street trash.
Holy shit! I actually think I saw that.
That movie is
Like
fucking
on
awesome.
I think I saw it on like Cinemax in the middle of the night one night.
Of course you did.
Fucking like when I was like, oh Christ, like 17.
Is that when you look through the TV guide for anything that said like mature audiences? You said, yeah, okay.
Well, no, because at 17 I worked nights, so I'd come home and there was nothing to fucking do, so I just watched really bad late night, like Rhonda Up All Night and all that shit, because I had nothing else to do. So I think that's when I saw shit like that.
Street Trash is, by and large, one of my favorite movies in the genre. But Street Trash isn't trauma, but it falls into the trauma genre. Because you saw it like when the people were melting after drinking the Tenafly Viper, they didn't like explode with blood. Usually, one of them did, but for the most part, everyone else melted in a Technicolor
Goo.
extravaganza of absurdity. Like it was yellow, bright green, bright blue. Like they just turned into a goo, and it was fucking amazing. That movie was amazing.
Well, that's like That's how they did Evil Dead 2, when the walls were spitting the blood everywhere. I guess I was watching like the behind the scenes stuff or the voiceover commentary. It was like Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi talking about it, and apparently they couldn't use red blood or they would have been given an X rating because it was just so much violence in the movie. Because back then they just throw an X at anything like ultra violent. So they just made all the blood in that movie is like blue, like dark blue, dark green, dark yellow. So it's not technically blood. You know, that's what they had to do. That's because that was like about the time when what was that? The Street Fighter got an X rating because it was just too violent. The Sonny Chiba film.
Yeah, I know the film.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did you see the trailer for the new Ash vs. Evil Dead for Stars?
No.
I haven't watched the trailer, but I'm only slightly interested in seeing it. because I don't know where they're going to take it. The remake was okay. It was the first remake in the last 10 years that I can say was okay. But
what about Dawn of the Dead?
What about it?
What did you think of the Dawn of the Dead remake?
It was shit. It
Oh.
was absolute shit.
How about the Night of the Dead remake?
Garbage. Huh?
What do you think of the Night of the Dead remake with the girl?
I don't watch any Night of the Living Dead remakes. The black and white is I watched the color version, and that's as far as I go.
Well, because I watched the new one and I actually kind of liked it because the girl wasn't such just a. She just didn't. She actually kept herself together a little bit. It was kind of.
I seen that one. I didn't like it. It didn't seem realistic.
Yeah, it's not.
No, I mean if they had given her some kind of background, she was like a military personnel or a police personnel, I could see her holding herself together. But that's what I liked about the original one. It was so realistic because none of those people really had that like military background or anything like that, and they just completely fell apart when they were closed up like that. You know?
Yeah, they lost their shit.
Yeah,
and that's what made it so terrifying.
Yeah,
is because it felt like you were watching real people lose their shit, and
that's
why.
That's why I liked the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I mean, it wasn't as good as the original, obviously, but the original also had the fucking Hell's Angels show up for no reason right in the middle of the movie. Oh, fuck it. Send in a biker gang.
They weren't the Hell's Angels, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was they were marauders. That's
yeah, I get
that's
that.
what people would actually do. That's almost realistic.
Well, on motorcycles though. That's why I liked the remake.
90 miles to the gallon?
Yeah, well,
that'd be what I'd be riding.
But you're worried about an infection that's spread by human contact, so you drive the most illogical vehicle to keep them away from you.
Yeah, it could be on a Raz. I mean,
yeah, okay.
I get 250 miles a gallon on this sumbitch.
Yeah. But no, that's why I like the remake because you had the ex-Marine who's like helping people out. You have the one who's a nurse, so it's more logical why there's like medical like the medical reasoning and stuff like that. But then you had the shitbag with the fucking boat. You had the fucking real like schemy fucking security guards at the mall who were just fucking them over left, right, and center. You know, that's what I liked about it.
It just felt like if they hadn't remade it, if they had made a different of the Dead.
Yeah.
In the same line, if they hadn't called it Dawn of the Dead,
right,
I would have been more okay with it. Just like I don't mind Land of the Dead,
right,
because even though it has smart zombies and that goes completely against the entire mythos of zombies,
but it has Dennis Hopper, so that's okay.
Yeah, it's like it goes against everything that the zombie genre is about. It's still a good movie.
I think the best Dennis Hopper movie was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Fuck yeah! You got that slaughter on tape. You play it on the radio. I fucking love Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
I don't know.
2.
Blue Velvet's always going to be a classic for me and Dennis Hopper.
Of all time,
I think
Chainsaw Massacre 2. The Saw is family.
I think the best chainsaw movie of all times. I'm going to pull this up real quick. I should probably go to YouTube to pull it up.
Then there's Texas Chainsaw 3 with fucking
Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew
No,
McConaughey.
that's the fourth one.
Is it the fourth? I thought it was the
That
third.
3.
Fourth one was the Next Generation,
Oh.
which
I
was
thought
my
that was
favorite.
3. I
Which
thought
was it was
Next
great.
Generation was 3. I have a whole bunch of them. in my box of movies DVDs that smells like fucking stale cigarettes now.
It's amazing
I
how you
opened it
notice
up,
that, don't you?
I took a row out and I was like, oh god, it fucking stinks.
I hit pause, you fucker. I just had a camera set up for this. What the fuck?
Technology, you bitch.
This is the best trailer for a movie of all time.
Taking a leak.
Just give it a second.
Some tales are told, then soon forgotten. But a legend is forever. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, from the producers of A Nightmare on Elm Street, the real terror begins.
Yeah, that's my favorite trailer.
I don't remember that trailer at all.
Yeah.
The fucking chrome chainsaw. That is pretty fucking awesome, though.
Yeah, it was just like, I mean, the movie did not live up to the trailer. 3 was not my favorite one.
Eraserhead.
Eraserhead.
Fucking David Lynch. What a fucking weird ass he is. That's what I was just talking about. That's why I like Dennis Hopper and fucking Blue Velvet, dude.
I want that T-shirt. Speaking of, I'm gonna completely change the subject here really quick because
Pushing gears.
I had an enjoyable experience this afternoon.
Bullshit.
I'm calling.
Doorbell rings, right? And
I can already tell this story's this whole story's a lie.
someone came to talk to you?
Night, when I get home, I'm taking a nap before Thorin wakes up. Thorin's taking a nap. So I'm asleep on the couch. Gabrielle and Thorin come out. Gabrielle's like, I'm worried. Thorin's acting lethargic. Like, he's not active. He's not being himself. He's running a fever of 101. Like, all right, we're going to the doctor. So we go to the doctor, who's an hour away. She sends us to the emergency room.
Okay, now you started with. Is it a happy? This is happy.
Yeah, I'm getting
what the
to it.
fuck is this?
I have to do the setup. All right, so I'm worried from Thursday 5 o'clock until fucking 9 this morning because Thorin is running a high fever and it's not going away, right? So I'm worried. I don't sleep at all, and I fall asleep this morning. I'm rewatching the last season of Sons of Anarchy. So I'm half asleep when this happens. Doorbell rings. Ding dong. Right? We're not expecting anybody.
Okay.
We haven't put out the sign of, if we're not expecting you, don't ring our fucking doorbell because we're not going to answer. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's the fucking septic guy because the septic guy is supposed to get back to me to finish the fucking front yard so my front yard doesn't look like an absolute shit show. So real quick, I throw on my t-shirt. The first t-shirt I grab is a Marduk t-shirt. Right? So it's full of satanic imagery.
Awesome.
My dogs
Marmaduke?
have Marduk.
Oh.
not Marmaduke, just Marduk.
Like Clifford,
my dog's
right?
throwing a fit. Fucking, I have to crack the door open. It's 2 females, probably in their mid 20s to mid 30s, right? I notice as upon opening the door, one of them is holding a book with holy scriptures emblazoned on the front.
Oh hell!
And I'm like, are you
good.
fucking kidding me? That, like, we haven't lived here long enough for me to be putting up with this yet. So I open the door and she's like, we're volunteering some time to go around to promote Bible reading, the reading of the Bible, and a lot of times people they want to change things in the world, but they just don't know how. And I was like, yeah, we're atheists, no thanks. So real quick, I'm starting to close the door. I was like, that's it. We're atheists, no thanks. And she's real quick, if you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? I was like, religion. And she was like, oh, I was like, yeah, no thanks. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. And I fucking closed the door. And in my head, I was like, I should have taken it one step further, but I had the enjoyable experience of completely destroying what those 2 women were trying to do for an afternoon. They probably gave up. I hope they gave up, because that would make it even better. Be like, religion poisons everything. Your religion makes people fucking hate other people for no fucking reason. So if I could change one thing in this planet, it would be to eradicate religion and make sure that people like you don't wake me up in the middle of the fucking afternoon when I haven't slept all goddamn night because I'm worried about my kid being sick, to fucking spread the word of Jesus Christ, which is really just a fucking long-lasting, the very first zombie fiction ever created. So go fuck yourself. Have a good day. See you later. And I close the door.
And this is a happy story.
And this is a happy story. I went up the stairs with a fucking smile on my face. It was fucking fantastic.
I like how this is a happy story. I just destroyed some people's lives. It was a beautiful day. I'm going to bed now.
This is why people hate atheists, Travis.
No, it's not.
You are the reason.
Atheists because we speak the truth, goddammit.
Typical Travis.
I can't help it if I take enjoyment in ruining people's days. It was one of the things I shared with a new friend on Facebook.
Of course you do.
I mean, a new friend. We hate everybody.
I take, because they had posted a thing about
S'mores?
losing followers, and when they post certain things, people just fucking drop off. It's like I enjoy it mostly on Twitter, but I enjoy keeping track of what I post and how many people stop following after that post, because I know, like, I'll write it down. It's like, yes, I have completely ruined somebody's day by posting this one thing, and it just fucked up their whole afternoon.
Oops. I was gonna show you something, Travis, because you said you were watching Sons of Anarchy. Where is my page? God damn it, right here. Now, is this Sons of Anarchy you were watching?
I'm a bikey man from a bikey gang, living in my crack den making crack. I love killing, thieving, and extortion. Give me $20, I'll give you an abortion. I love cocaine and selling it to kids. I charge 50 for an ounce, and my dad used to fuck me rippity-dee.
My name's Snake, from a rival gang, so give me the drugs or I'll go bang. I'm a real rough bloke, I'll murder your wife, so give me the drugs or you'll be in strife.
Oh no, he's got the drop on me, but lucky I got a trick up my sleeve. Bang! Biggity bang! A bigger bang bang, biggity bang, and a shoot, put a bullet in your head. Bing bam boom, and he's effing dead.
Stop right there, I'm a crooked cop. Give me a bribe or your drugs will stop. Oh, you gangsters are such big roughies, I'm gonna put you in handcuffies.
Oh no, it's the boys in blue. What the hell am I gonna do? Bang! Biggity bang, a biggity bang bang, biggity bang. Shoot, shoot, put a bullet in your head. Bing, bam, boom, and he's effing dead. Well, hello there, I'm just a passerby, and I bang! Biggity bang, bigger bang, bang, biggity, biggity bang, yeah. Shoot, 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 put a bullet in your head. Bing, bam, boom, and he's effing dead.
Bang, bang, biggity, bang, bang, biggity.
Bang! Oh, the pain! It burns! It burns! I have a wife!
I fucking love that song. I love that video. The whole thing about it is fucking great.
Yeah.
Bang! Biggity bang!
I watched that like 4 times today. Every time I see something posted about Sons of Anarchy on Facebook, like I think my mom just recently watched the whole series on Netflix or whatever it's on, and I'm like, Sons of Anarchy? Oh, Bikey Wars.
I love the fact that people are able to make something so epic that
Yeah.
anytime you hear any reference to like whether it be Gangland or Sons of Anarchy or anything about motorcycle gangs, you have Bikey Wars.
Yeah.
And what was the one? Oh, the person who bought a sink, took a picture of it outside their front door. So anytime you hear anybody type, let that sink in for a minute, you can put a fucking picture of a sink standing at your front door. Like, the people who come up with this shit that have that much time, like, this would be fucking amazing. Just let that sink in. Well,
on
what the fuck
Reddit,
does he want now?
On Reddit, someone made a bot that's called the Obama bot. That anytime someone types in "Thanks Obama," it shows up and says "You're welcome."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I was fucking with my color on here. Now I'm pink.
More like an
There you go.
off red,
A lightish red.
a lightish red.
That is true.
That is pink. No, but it's all right.
Where are they at? Are they going to continue red versus blue, or are they just?
Yeah, they got a new season coming out right now.
Season 13, yeah. They're on season 13.
I still only have the 1 through 5 box set.
Dude, on Netflix, was it Netflix? Yeah, Netflix has all 12 seasons, dude. You can catch up right up.
Yeah.
You can catch up. And personally, I mean, what Monty did was kind of cool with all his stuff, but I still think it got better after, like, was that season 11 it started picking back up.
Yeah, I watched season 11. I don't think I finished season 11, but I watched a good portion of it.
Yeah, yeah. I like what they're doing with it. I haven't really stayed caught up with season 13, but I'll watch it in chunks because I'll have the extra time, so I like enjoying, 5-6 episodes at a time.
I've become completely, like, anesthetized on it because of Netflix and Hulu. Now I just wait for it to be done, and then I just watch the whole thing. It's so much easier on my life than trying to keep up.
You know what I rewatched this week? Arrested Development. I'm kind of happy they're doing a season 5.
Yeah?
Because everyone always said, oh, they did fine when they wrapped up season 4. I'm kind of not feeling it. Because when it just ends with George Michael punching Michael right in the face. And then it just says, this is Arrested Development, But I'm kind of happy that they're going to continue on. I like that. Because, I mean, rewatching it, binging the whole thing one shot again for a second time, I think the season 4 made a lot more sense and it was a lot more fun that way.
See, sometimes I think
Even
that's
though
what's
it was-
really good about binge watching some of that stuff is the fact that, like, because they had a big scope of what they wanted to do, and if you watch it in segments, you don't always see what they wanted.
Yeah.
So by going all the way through it, you can watch everything
Yeah.
and see what their big scope was.
Right.
You know, I was like, I mean, I've been marathoning the living shit out of Doctor Who. I'm on season 8. You know, so I'm now in 1973. So
Yeah.
watching how their thought processes was through all that makes a big difference on how they were doing it. So it's kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
I still haven't watched the new season yet.
Was it? Why not? Is it you're just trying to convince your wife to sit down and try to watch all that?
That's kind of what it is, and I told her I was going to watch it, and then I felt bad because I mean she seen like the first 5 episodes of it, 4 or 5, and then she gave me the Blu-rays on for Christmas, I think it was. So I got it on Blu-ray, but it's just a matter of sitting down and watching it. But what we have been, the main reason lately, it's not been an issue for a while, but there's been no push this past week or so, because we've been watching that 500 Questions on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Or ABC.
The guys at work were telling me about that show.
It's pretty good. It's I guess, I don't know if it was just a test to see how it was doing, but it's a quiz show. But all these people are like Mensa certified and shit like that are on there. And the way it works is you get a board of 50 questions. That each person gets it. There's a person who's their competitor who stands across from them, and they can keep going as long as they want, all the way up to the full 500 questions. They get 10 seconds to answer each question. So let's say it's all general knowledge and it's no multiple choice. They got 10 seconds to answer. The first answer they give, if it's right, they get $1,000. If it's the second or third one that's right, they don't get a wrong answer. It's not considered wrong. And if they get 3 wrongs in a row, they lose, and the person across the way who's been watching them the whole time, and like there's a couple where it's like there's like 6 right answers, and each person has to give one at a time until someone gets it wrong. That person will come over and take their spot, and then they get to go. And I guess it tops out at like 500 questions. Really, really interesting. It's a lot different, but there's only 7 episodes of it.
Yeah, they did it for a week straight.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I mean, it's actually convinced me to come back every time and watch it. We recorded the last one because it just didn't work out to our advantage to be able to sit for the full 2 hours. But yeah, it's pretty good for what it is. It's better than a lot of game shows because a lot of them are here's 4 possible answers, pick one.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like game shows anymore.
Too easy.
It's just, number 1, it's too easy. Number 2, like, as much as I like the guy that does, he was the fucking Old Spice guy, and now he's on the
Pat Sajak.
Millionaire. No, black dude.
Oh, Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell's black.
He was on Old Spice.
No, the black guy, the crazy fucking black guy.
Oh, the one on the Tim and Eric version of the commercials. Yes, I know what you're talking about. You know those were Tim and Eric who directed those commercials?
Was it Tim and Eric?
Yeah, the I'm on a horse ones. That was Tim and Eric's idea.
That makes absolute sense to me.
Exactly.
Now that you know that fact, it's kind of like, oh yeah, okay, now I understand it.
But he's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire now. And then I don't remember who took over fucking Family Feud after
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey
is the current Family Feud guy.
Is he current? I thought somebody else took over it.
No, because he's getting. They're going to put it on ABC, I guess. They're going to be doing Celebrity Family Feud. There's been commercials for it during the 500 Question show.
Oh, I thought somebody else took over for Steve Harvey too.
No, as far as I know, he's the most current one.
I don't particularly like Steve Harvey either. It's like
no, I have my issues with him.
Where the host now is like a character.
Yeah.
Instead of just being a host, instead of being the person that asks questions. Now it's a fucking character.
This is the Old Spice commercial you're thinking of, right?
Dark in the city, night is a wire. Steam in the subway, earth is a fire. Woman, you want me, give me a sign, and catch my breathing even closer behind. Do 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 do. in touch with the ground. I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Smell like a sound, I'm lost in a crowd, and I'm hungry like the wolf.
I like how he takes his hands off the piano. It's still playing.
And to be completely honest with you, that when I saw that commercial, that was the day I went out and bought Old Spice, and that is all I bought since then. And that was early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. As soon as I saw Bruce Campbell, I was like, I gotta get Old Spice now.
Yep.
I've always worn Old Spice, but the Bruce Campbell commercials made it worth doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a fucking...
Old Spice has always just been the smell that I prefer. Like, I prefer Old Spice deodorant. I prefer Brute aftershave.
What about High Karate?
They don't even make that anymore.
I wish they did. They just smell
I know
like
if they
Elvis.
did, I'd totally buy it just to have it. I really would.
Just to smell like Elvis. Then all you could drink was lemon lime Gatorade.
That's pretty much all I drink anyway. But even though it gives me fucking acid reflux like a motherfucker. Like,
You're supposed to cut it with water. Nobody does that anymore. Like Gatorade is still the original formula. It says to mix it with like 2/3 water or something like that, but everybody just drinks it straight, and then everybody complains about it.
They don't leave enough room in the bottle.
It's because you got to drink some. You pour it in your glass. You pour it in your sports bottle.
And then it tastes like shit if you water it down too much, though.
Did you see that video? That hockey player, they gave him a bottle of Gatorade, and they always like the goalies always have the spray bottles, so it's real quick. He takes the bottle of Gatorade, he looks at it, goes like this, and just squeezes it, and the cap fucking explodes off of it. Because it didn't have one of those caps like a normal like squirt bottle thing.
It's hilarious.
Oh shit!
But no, I grew up. My dad wore fucking Old Spice, so that was just what I started wearing.
Yeah,
I used to have the fucking Old Spice aftershave.
Yeah,
talk about a stink.
I got that.
Man,
that's what I use.
Yeah,
I have Old Spice shampoo. I've got Old Spice the soap. I've got Old Spice aftershave. I got Old Spice cologne. I also have some David Beckham cologne too, and that was pretty good.
See, like for aftershave, sometimes I'll use the Pinaud. It's like the oldest like aftershave there is. It's like from 18.
Old Spice?
I can't find it everywhere. So like, if you find it, it actually doesn't smell too bad. It actually works really well. It's the old school, like it burns.
I think it's pronounced pomade.
No, that's your hair stuff. Dude.
Oh, I don't have that.
I bought some new aftershave shit that smells like lemons. Like it's very faint smell. Like it doesn't smell very strongly, which I like and don't like at the same time. It's more of a skin tonic than it is an aftershave. But Brute aftershave, Old Spice aftershave, those are the two that I've always liked. When you talk about fucking cologne though, if it didn't cost $80 for a tiny bottle, Aqua di Gio is probably one of my favorites.
Drucker Noir.
Was it 92 again, dude? What the fuck are you talking about?
What's that?
99.2 again. Fucking, I got my Z Cavaricci's on.
Some Drucker Noir.
Fucking, what was it? Bod? With a plastic spray bottle?
Yeah. I always remember, every time I hear something about cologne, I always think of that. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's one where they're raiding the one dude's apartment, and Charlie just grabs a bottle of the Drucker Noir, and he just starts hosing himself down. They're like, Charlie, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, this stuff's expensive. It's Drucker Noir.
That's another show that I stopped watching that I need to get back into. Though.
Yeah. There was a point there where it kind of bottomed out for a little bit. It sounded like they were going to cancel it, but these last 2 seasons they've been killing it.
Yeah.
It was really good the last 2 seasons.
They kind of went back to their old formula. That's why.
Yeah.
What I understand, like it went back to just being over the top absurdity.
Yeah.
Instead of having a fairly continual storyline, it was like each episode was its own absurd.
My favorite episode is always going to be when Charlie's sitting around in a Nazi uniform. That will always be my favorite one. Opens the door, eating a banana.
That was part of the continuous storylines because there was like later in the season they find out that the picture hanging on his wall that everyone thought Charlie drew of the German Shepherd was an original Hitler, but it turns out Frank threw it out.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
And the episode where they all took steroids.
I loved
was
that
another
show
one I always enjoyed.
before. I just stopped watching it. Mostly just because I don't have the time to watch it.
Yeah. And let's see, what else has been good on TV since this has been a mainly TV episode? I mean, honestly, it has. It's been mostly what we've been doing is talk movies and TV.
Yeah, some comics.
Yeah. And the comics was based loosely movies and TV.
That's
Movies like
based on comics.
Comics that are
Based
currently
on-
TV shows or
Yeah.
movies.
Did you guys see the Supergirl trailer?
I
No.
have not seen it. I've heard about it, but I've not seen it.
I'm gonna give it a chance because the trailer, I don't think the trailer was cut very well. I think they're trying to drag in another audience that isn't going to get dragged in because the Flash obviously gave up on the teen girl audience, and I think that's what they're. I think that's the way Supergirl's going to start, and I don't think it's going to continue that way through the whole series. But we'll see. It just seems like very like it's going to be like a rom-com setup is the way the trailer starts, and then it goes into her like saving an airplane. I could pull it up. Fuck it.
Yeah, let's
It's not like I haven't violated enough copyright suits with everything else I've played today.
All right, it's all free. They can't say nothing. We don't pay for anything on this.
Domain because it's trailers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just kind of like I'm upset that they got rid of Constantine. Though people are still trying to fight for it in other places like Sci-Fi or something.
Backstrom officially canceled.
Yeah, I saw that. You know how pissed off I was because that was such a fun show to watch.
Yeah.
Backstrom was great just because the fact that they canceled it just pisses me off. Because it was such just a fucking. I mean, Backstrom was just a dick, and I loved his character.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of Travis, I finished Choke on Your Lies. Holy crap, was that a great book?
Yeah. See, I have a problem now.
Uh-oh. Too many to go? Is that the problem?
No, because I got all of these prior to getting my Kindle. I now have to collect everything that Neil Smith puts out in hard copy.
Yeah.
And
So are you enjoying a lot of his books, man? What do you think, man?
I've loved
Seriously.
every single one of them. I've loved every single one of them so far.
They're
And
great
what
fucking
makes
stories.
it even worse is every single one of these is signed. So every book that I buy of Neil Smith's now, I'm either going to have to buy directly from him or buy it and send it to him to have him sign it because I can't have half his collection on my Kindle and half of the collection in fucking
Right.
hard copy.
Ooh, speaking of, did you see Geshler's new book that's coming out?
Stay.
Yeah. That looks fucking
It has,
awesome.
I think it's already got a fucking TV deal.
Is that the follow up to Sit?
No, it's actually the follow up to Heal is what it is.
Oh, okay. Play Dead. That's the next one. Paw.
I got
Shake.
Ink Mage, and I
Shake.
want to read
Play
the
that.
Ink Mage because he with Ink Mage he completely changed genres. Like before, it was he was doing crime and noir, and he's done a touch of sci-fi and like post-apocalypse. But with Ink Mage, he went full on fantasy.
Before I forget, there's another author now, Travis, because now you're gonna have to fucking hate me because I found another author you're gonna have to read. It is I gotta find his name. Hold on. It is
Bill
Richard Raley, Ralye. He has these books called the King Henry tapes. Take like Neil Smith and Jim Butcher, throw them together. And that's what you're getting. And that's what you're getting. I'm telling you, dude. It's pretty interesting.
You know who else I found that we're going to need to get on the show and that you're going to need to read? I don't have the books down here. Well, I don't have my Kindle or the book, one physical copy that I have.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain?
No, not Mark Twain. He's dead.
Henry David Thoreau.
So you think that if Mark Twain was still alive, we had a chance of getting him on the show?
You're goddamn right. David James Keaton, I believe, is his full name.
Edward James Olmos.
I have The Last Projector, which is kind of a bizarro. It's really weird, but he references fucking Captain Beefheart within the first like 25 pages, so it's great for that alone. And his newest one that's coming out, that's being released soon, he gave me an advanced reader copy for the Kindle. It's called Pig Iron. David James Keaton. It's a Western, but it is the most twisted Western I've ever fucking sat down to read and or watch. Think the good, the bad, and the weird mixed with the good, the bad, and the ugly mixed with fucking Rico Slade, because it's just absurd. Like the byline.
Teriyaki Western Django.
God, I hated that movie.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I've seen the original. I've seen the Western, like the original Western Django one. The way they redid it just kind of pissed me off. I think is what it was.
With the samurai?
Because not everything he put his hands into is gold. I'm sorry, it's just not. Sometimes Quentin Tarantino needs to just not touch shit.
You're talking about the new Django. I'm not talking about the Asian one, the Japanese movie with the samurais. The only reason you were even thinking Tarantino is because he's in it. He didn't direct that.
He didn't direct it. I didn't like it. I've seen it, and I was like, it's a I think it's a remake from something else I've seen.
Yeah, it's a remake of Yojimbo.
Is it Yojimbo? Is that what it is?
It's pretty much Yojimbo. It's like basically if you take Yojimbo and Fistful of Dollars, which are the same movie as it is, and then you combine the two mythos, and then just threw Django in there with the machine gun in the coffin.
That's probably what pissed me off is what it was then, because I enjoyed Yojimbo. I own Yojimbo. Pile of movies over there.
And I like the way my favorite part about it is the way they did the dialogue. They didn't do it in Japanese. All those actors spoke Japanese, but all they did, they made them learn their lines in English, and they did it in that Western style.
Yeah,
I like that movie. I thought it was really good.
Actually, we were watching Inglourious Bastards last night. What a great film!
Yeah, that's a good one.
Christoph Waltz is a fucking genius actor.
Yeah, I have my issues with Inglourious Bastards just because Quentin Tarantino, but
it's revenge porn. That's all it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a fun movie, but yeah.
I can't talk too much shit because that's exactly what the novel I have planned is. It's just revenge fantasy.
Yeah.
It's just violence for fucking violence sake. But Pig Iron, the byline for Pig Iron is a town without water, where men hate their horses and guns explode in their hands. Because pig iron is like, it's what some of the guns are made out of. and it can't handle being made into a gun. So when they pull the trigger, the gun fucking explodes. And it just fucking it fucks their shit up. Like the sheriff goes to shoot a raccoon that got into his chicken coop and killed all his chickens, but instead his gun explodes and just fucked his whole world up. I'm like 25 pages in. It's fucking amazing, and I want to talk to the guy because he's hilarious on Facebook. I don't know if that'll fucking transfer into
Actual
talking live, but he's fucking hilarious. I have a feeling it would be it'd be right up there with Anthony's episode, even though that is a very high bar to pass.
Yeah.
At this point, like,
all right,
I think we're pretty unanimous in thinking that
it was
was
great.
by far
Minus my trickiness, yes, that was a great episode.
I think Scott Harriet's episode would have been great if it wasn't for me on drugs.
So far I've been drunk, you've been on drugs, we gotta get Travis completely annihilated, so that way we've all
when he's got on one of the people he respects incredibly.
Yeah. Although I did kind of do that with Orman Grimsby.
Yeah.
Turns out Orman doesn't care too much for drunks, and I drank quite a bit on that show.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's you know
But,
what?
like,
That's
he's
his.
not
He
like
guess what?
Mr.
He doesn't have to do them. You are so allowed to, Travis. You're an adult. Go ahead.
Well, no, he's not like super like you. I hate drunks and just can't stand being talking to anybody. But I just through talking with him, I learned that drunkenness is not something he appreciates, especially when he's going to like shows and stuff, which is understandable. That's his own opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna play this trailer for you. I found the minute 45 one because the one I watched was the 7-minute one. So this is a very cut down version. So
fucking 7-minute trailer.
Yeah, it was just like a teaser for the big one.
My name is Kara Zor-El. 24 years ago, my planet was in peril. My cousin, Kal-El, was sent to a planet called Earth. You may know his story, but you don't know mine.
On Earth, you will do extraordinary things.
Until now.
You must go. I love you, Kara.
Flight 237 bound for Geneva is circling the city after an engine failure.
We just lost another engine. We're going down. Brace for impact.
Oh, come on!
I've up and away.
See, a big thumbs down.
Yeah?
I'm gonna have to give that a big thumbs down because it feels contrived. It's like fucking Smallville meets fucking Dawson's Creek.
I think Smallville was basically Dawson's Creek with Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into Smallville. I just really couldn't. This one, I want to give it a chance. I don't know. Who knows?
I tried the first season. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It feels unlike the Arrow and the Flash, which feel very organic. Like, those are stories that they did a very good job. Just, these are the characters. This is the universe. Here you go. To pull in, references to the Superman saga first of all, that ruins the trailer right off the bat.
You think so?
Because
you realize it is his cousin.
Yeah, I mean, but
But at the same time, she's a teenager.
Yeah.
She's a teenager when she arrives at Earth, and from what I remember the storyline, Superman's already fully like a full-grown adult.
Yes.
By the time she arrives at Earth.
Yes.
Well, fucking Krypton gets destroyed when he's a baby. So how is she a fucking teenager?
They were both fired off within 2 hours of each other, but her rocket was sent in a different direction, and it finally made its way to Earth. 25, 30 years after his had landed. So that's
How is she still a teenager?
Because it's like a stasis thing. Like Superman's apparently floated across the infinite voyage of space for however long it took. Whether it was a day, whether it was fucking 20 years. But when he lands and it opens up, that's when he's released from stasis. So he's a baby when he comes out. But she was sent off because she was 14 years older than him. And then when she lands on Earth, she's only 14 years old.
I guess they can get away with it that way.
Well, no, that's how the storyline works. That's
Yeah,
what it's been like since the 1940s, 50s.
But in the show, like the Krypton #1 looks different.
Well, yeah, it's gonna.
#2.
yeah, there's no Marlon Brando, so what? I mean, come on.
Well, it's not Marlon Brando. It's what's his name? The guy who punches people with cell phones.
Oh,
Romper Stomper.
Yeah,
Russell Crowe.
Rubber Stomper.
Russell Crowe's Jor-El in the new ones.
Yeah, but I'd still. I mean, when I grew up, it was
music ever.
Brando. Way a lot cooler.
Fucking Romper Stomper has the best title music ever of all time.
I'm not gonna go there because I know the title music to that. So this is the best title music.
Yeah, my name's Sad, and I don't give a fuck.
All right, Chuck and Hank. We'll see you guys on the next
roundabout
broadcast of the people that you're hearing from right now. I don't know. I've got no sign-off message. You will be muted if you play that.
No, okay. Still great fucking music. For whatever reason, it's weird. I think it's great. The movie sucked, but the music was good.
Yeah, I'll give you that. All right, folks.
So, Hank, Chuck.
Hank and Chuck.
fellas,
Later, guys.
We'll talk at you next week.
Bye, Hank.
Bye, Hank and Chuck.